Hey everybody, today is officially 4th of July, and I want to continue the theme of independence and our own independent thinking, and how it's easy to get caught up into kind of what culturally is acceptable, and our social scape, like a landscape, we have a social scape of what's appropriate or what's proper for us. And so I looked the word up, tolerate, because that's the word I want to focus on. What are you tolerating that you might need to declare your independence from? So here's some definitions for to tolerate. To allow the extreme, allow the extreme, or the occurrence of opinions of others or the behaviors of others that one might not agree with. We just tolerate or put up with. This one we like to be able to tolerate. The capacity to endure continued subjection to something good, like a heart transplant. We can tolerate that change. So I don't want to throw the whole word out, but just some of the ways that we experience it. Where I'm thinking is more the Middle English version of tolerate, which was stated this way: the action of bearing hardship or pain. That's how I'm thinking about it, that when we tolerate something in our life, we're putting up with it. It's painful, it's uncomfortable, we don't like it. And if you think about it, it's disruptive to your mental health and well-being. It can be disruptive to your physical health and well-being. And it certainly is going to interfere with your spiritual health and well-being. So it's important for us to think about this. I don't want to just kind of like toss this out and it's like, yeah, you got to tolerate it and put up with it, because that's how we got into the position in the first place. So think about things that we tolerate physically, that we put up with: squeaky doors, remotes that don't work, um, things that are broken. We kind of we jerry rig it a little bit. It doesn't really work the way it's supposed to, but we do it. We tolerate it. One of the things that used to drive my dad nuts was if I was using the wrong tool for something. I can remember I was working on the car and I had this little wrench-like thing, and he said, "No, you need a socket wrench to put over the whole thing. You got 6 or 8 of those nuts to take off." He said, "You're going to be there all day." And I'd already the wrench had already slipped off a couple of times, and I banged my knuckle on what's called the engine block. So I was already bleeding, and I was tolerating it. And why? Because I was too lazy to go across the garage to the other side where the tools are and get the proper tool. And the other day I was laughing. I went out to use the shears to sort of chop some of the bushes. You can see that one in the back there, it needs a little trimming. But they weren't sharp, and they weren't cutting. Everything was just sort of mushing together, and it didn't cut it. And I tolerated it for a moment, and I thought about Dad saying, "Sharpen the tool, Tom." So I put it away. I laughed, and it was fun to kind of remember Dad and all the funny things in our life together, things that I learned about. But these annoyances, these little irritations, change our mood. We can be happy-go-lucky and then have an irritation and become grumpy and even intolerant or impatient because something physically that we've tolerated just needs to be changed. I thought about that this morning as I was thinking about getting ready for shooting this video today. And I went through the cup cabinet and I pulled out my favorite cup, and I was looking at it because it's one of the things in our physical world I want to talk to you about. I bought it years ago when I was on a vacation. It brings back wonderful memories every time I use it. It's chipped. It's has some cracks in it. Not so much that it actually leaks, but I see them there, and it's like it's only a matter of time. And If you asked my wife, she would have thrown it away years ago, but knows it's my favorite. And so she's tolerated me using it. But I thought, you know what? I have the memories. I don't need a cup, okay? Or the t-shirt for that matter. And I do have a t-shirt from that vacation. I was really laughing because the collar of the t-shirt has little holes in it all the way around. And now I've noticed on the body of the t-shirt, there's some holes. It's still in the drawer, but by the time we edit this video, it will be gone. So you can approach this with a sense of humor as you go through your lists of things and just look around physically in your life. What are the things that you're tolerating that really need to be changed? Including, for me, washing the car. Now that the pollen's finished dropping, it's okay to clean it all out and clean it up a little bit. I want you to stay tuned through this because we're going to look at 4 areas of our lives that we tolerate things. And I've saved the most challenging, I think, and the most difficult one for the last. So watch this all the way through. Shouldn't be too long of a video, but I just want to give you the heads up that there's good stuff ahead. While we're doing a little break here, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that. It helps me. It helps other viewers see this. If you found that helpful, share it with other people as well. And any comments, please leave them below. I love reading. I love responding to what you have to say. And I realize for some people around the world, you'll see this on another day, but here in the United States, we're celebrating our independence. And that's the theme for this video and for yesterday's video, is what are the things we need to declare our independence from? And one of them, I think, is all the things in our life that we tolerate. So the physical stuff, the broken stuff, the stuff that doesn't work anymore, the stuff that's obsolete. I've got some clothes upstairs that don't fit me anymore. Time to get rid of them. Things that have been out of style for years. Time to let those go. So there's lots of little things that I've tolerated that because I'm shooting this and saying things out loud in public that I'm going to stop tolerating in my life. So that's the first one, the physical stuff. What about the lifestyle? Area number 2. What are the things that you do routinely every day? The way that you get up. We've got some videos on here about waking up and what to do. So I'm not going to go into that, but just take a look at what's your routine in the morning? What's your routine as you go to bed at night? Are there some things that you tolerate that maybe you need to change and adjust to taking care of yourself? You know, nobody can take care of you but you. Sometimes people tell me, well, I had all this stuff happen in the childhood. I am the way I am because of what they did or how life's treated me up to this point. And to a degree, that's true. But now you're an adult. And part of the adulting process is to take responsibility for our lives, which simply means we have the ability to respond. We don't have to keep repeating the same traumas or the same pains. We don't have to tolerate the pain of our childhood. It's over. We can't go back and undo it. And as children, we were innocent. All of us were. We didn't cause that. We didn't like say, hey, hurt me. It happened, but now as an adult, it's no longer a way to excuse what we tolerate in our behavior that we could change. There's things in our lifestyle, how we're living our life, but still being influenced by that. Time for a change. If it's positive, great. I had adoptive parents that were amazing. I have a birth mother that was unbelievable. As I got to know her as an adult, I feel so privileged and so blessed. Not how I experienced it as a kid. Wasn't my child experience of that. And I think I've talked about that in another video, so I'm not going into that today. But then if you're interested, I'll tell you more about that. But it's time to let that stuff go. The negative stuff go. Yes, I was orphaned. Okay. I didn't know that I looked like anybody else or if there was anybody that looked like me. But in the end, we're all unique. It doesn't matter. You have your DNA, you have your eye scan, voice scan, but what you do with your body in terms of lifestyle, that we can take responsibility for. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Are you putting yourself down? Are you thinking of yourself as less than other people? I don't deserve that, or I don't merit it, I don't earn it, I'm not worthy of it. That's part of the lifestyle. That needs to be shifted and changed. You need a new perspective of who you are and the value and worth of your life. It is no greater than, but it's certainly not less than anyone else. So be a little bit more self-centered. If you're too self-centered, come on back a little bit, but most of us aren't. And I know a lot of the people that I talk to are nurses. We've already done that. It's not in your DNA, really. There's some, yes, of course, but the majority of people who go into that profession are doing it for the sake of other people, to take care of someone, which is beautiful and honorable, but not at your expense. There's nurses who work a whole shift, 12-hour shift, take no breaks. Stop it. Eat something. Take a break. Clear your head. Some nurses work a whole shift, 12 hours, haven't gone to the bathroom. There's a little, I know you learned this in your nurses training, that liquid in, liquid out. Do you even measure it when you're with the patient? Because you need to keep track of that. So, not suggesting that you measure yours, but get rid of it and take some new fresh liquid in. Okay, those are your responsibilities. Only you can take care of yourself. Only each of us. I can only take care of myself. I can coach you on ways to do it better, but ultimately, how you live your life, it's how you're living your life. So this lifestyle is important to consider. What styles are you choosing for yourself? How are you managing it? What are you doing with it? Because when we don't, then we become resentful and annoyed and angry. Again, our mental, emotional well-being is dependent on what we tolerate and what we say no, we're not going to tolerate any longer. So give it some thought, think about it. So tolerating yourself, this person you live with and you live inside of, what are you tolerating? Now, I had some surgery early part of the year, so there were lots of things that I couldn't do. I could walk, I could control the amount of food I ate, but in terms of the shape of my body, the physicality of my body, there were exercises that I couldn't do. I'm just beginning to do them now. I got the final okay, the last little bandages are off. I got the green light, go. And the only restriction was use common sense. So with me, my wife said, reminded me, well, Tom, sometimes you don't have common sense. You can't go out and run for 5 miles. And so I've really adopted a whole new approach to physical well-being. Now, I'm not a physiologist that way. I'm not an exercise expert. So I'm not going to try to teach or train anybody anything on what I'm doing. But being kinder, gentler, more accepting of my body. What can I do to strengthen it, to increase its physical capabilities without beating it up, without needing a rest day? I was reading somebody who was talking about you exercise hard one day and then you have a day of rest. So you know what? No. I want to move every day. I'm in the gym every day, but I'm not stretching and pushing all the way to the limit. I've done all those things, the intermittent and this and that, and no, I'm just doing what feels and in communication with myself, what makes sense, what works for me. And I'm feeling better and better. I'm losing weight. It's just kind of coming off. It's beautiful. Not doing anything special. Maintain a sensible diet, but listening to my body. Am I hungry? No. Then don't just eat. Don't grab a snack. Just because it's on the counter. Actually, we're putting things away, so they're not on the counter, but you get my point. You can adjust and adapt things to really take care of yourself. So if you got 5 or 10 pounds that are hanging around, you know what? Just a little bit of self-discipline, you can let that go. Let it go. Stop tolerating it. Declare your independence from it. And then those little things in your head about, I'm too old, or I'm too young, or I'm too this, or I'm too that. Talk to a coach. Help somebody help you with that in your life. There's executive coaches, life coaches, sort of the stuff that I do. There's physical coaches. There's all kinds of coaches that are out there that can get you through that. And that investment that you make in yourself, best investment ever. You get it directly back. Who's the one person that you're with your entire life? When you drew that first breath after you came out of the womb, I mean, you had the cord, so you didn't have to worry about oxygen. But suddenly you come off, the cord gets cut, you're on your own. And from that moment on, you're on your own. Nobody can do this for you. There's people who can do it with you. You don't have to do it alone. But ultimately, you have to do it for yourself. So you don't have to do it by yourself, but you have to do it for yourself. Habits, addictions, all of that, it's the same thing. You are the only one that can take responsibility for yourself. Do it for yourself. If you don't feel you're worthy, you don't feel you're good enough, you don't feel you're valuable enough, that's an issue. Talk to somebody about that. Because you drew that first breath with yourself, and the last time you inhale and exhale, it will be with you, no one else. You. In that span in between the time, get to know yourself, get to like yourself, get to love yourself. Stop tolerating anything less than. That is not a relationship that you want to ignore or put off till later. Do it now. Develop this relationship with yourself. It will make so much difference in your life. I cannot begin to tell you what a difference it will make. It's taken me a long time and a lot of gray hair to get to that point in my life. No regrets, because that journey and wandering around and the self-abuse and everything else, all of that, part of the life experience, life journey, and allows me to stand here, talk to you, and say to you with uncertainty, I mean with absolute certainty, that the best investment you can make is in you, and the one person in all the world that you need to develop this loving, kind, caring relationship is with yourself. If you're not there yet, talk to me, call me, let's discuss it, let's talk about it, email me. There's no reason why you are alive and you're not in love with yourself. Because the universe, that life force that's in you, that back at the beginning of this year asked me, do I want to continue or not? In that almost dead or death experience and back to life experience, and said, I think I have more. I think there's more I can do, more I can share. I can expand what I'm doing, but I realize that now it's complete total partnership. It isn't the life that we woke up with this morning. That is not you. It is a gift. That's why we call it the present. And it came from this life energy, life force, this thing that sustains these trees and these bushes and the grass and everything else. It's there, and it's there for you. Let's move on to the most difficult of these 4 areas of looking at yourself and what you're tolerating and what you're going to stop tolerating and declare your independence from. And that is all the different relationships in your life. First of all, relationship with yourself. I hope we've made that clear. But you have other relationships. Some of them are draining. Some of them are one-sided. Some of them are only going from you to that other person. It's time to stop tolerating that. Oh, but Tom, I know. It may mean that you're going to have some period of loneliness for a while because you're the one that organizes all those meetings. You're the one that maintains that group that you're a member of. You're the one that does the invitations. You're the one that does the planning. You're the one that's doing all the hosting. You're the one. Stop. If it's not reciprocal, take a look at it. Does it bring you joy? Does it make your heart happy? If the answer is not an unequivocal yes, Tom, that's what you need to look at. Why not? There are couples therapists in the world. I've been doing that for years with couples. Some couples get it. They figure out what they need to do, the individual changes that each one needs to make in order for them to come together. Beautiful. And the transformation in that relationship is amazing. And what they do and where they go from there is incredible. I have story after story of successes. Sometimes it's a success that they're able to admit to each other, this is not it. It's not serving us in any kind of way. Yes, it's pretty much kind of one-sided. Or one person is unwilling to change. They, whatever their self-concept is, it's and back a few steps here and what we're talking about, is either negative or they can't see anybody else in their purview. They're caught in the narcissism of it all. If they're unwilling to change, the only person who can change is you. The only person who can change you is you. And if nothing changes, nothing's going to change. No matter how much you dance around that other person, not going to make any difference. So that tolerance or intolerance or intolerance, that's on you. Time for independence. This is the day of independence, freedom. What about your career? What about your job? Is it giving you satisfaction? Is it fulfilling? Is it what you expected it to be? Sometimes things change. Is it time for a change for you? Nobody can answer that question but you. I don't know your situation. I don't know where you are, but some questions to ask. Do you deserve better? As you think better, as you think more of yourself, as you fall back in love with yourself, do you deserve more from the relationships that you have, including work and what you do? Is it hard? Yes. I mean, I've come out of the office into the public, right? I've come out of the quiet couch-centered thing where we kind of have these conversations one-on-one to doing this out here in public with everyone. Okay? But it is my channel, and so I can do it kind of my way. Always open to suggestions, but good to be here with you. But it's making those shifts and changes in your life for a reason, for a purpose, to figure out what is satisfying, what fills your heart and your soul and your spirit and makes getting up in the morning exciting. It's an adventure. Stop tolerating all the less than. Stop tolerating things in your life that are broken, they're not sharp, it's not the right tool, it's not the right person. Go through all of that. It's not cruel, it's not harsh. People will find what they need. They don't have to have you to be the supply of that if it's not mutual, if there's not a give and take, if it's not reciprocal. And I know you know what I'm talking about. Time for independence, time for freedom, time to take your life back. Hey, if this isn't exactly for you, but I know you know someone that needs to hear these words, please share this. Please pass it along. Do a kind, loving thing for someone. Maybe hearing somebody they don't know say it out loud. Stop tolerating things in your life, physically, emotionally, within your own mind and heart, and in your relationships out in the world. Thank you for today. I wish you all the best. Declaring independence, not always an easy thing, but it's the bravest, most beautiful, strongest thing you could possibly do. To live your life as it was meant to be, as the gift that it is to you. And we'll all cheer you on when you take those steps and make those changes. Thank you.